Okay, take two. Uh, so last time I did this, it was like 10 seconds ago. And then I went all the way to Soul Warrior, and then I just didn't have my mic on, so it was just 20 minutes of me just silently sitting there watching a video. But yeah, so you can hear me right now, right? Yeah, that's good. That's something that has to happen for commentary. So on Monday, I think it was, I posted the community post asking you guys if you want to see a explanation of the Hitless Pantheon of Hallwonest clear. Most of you said yes, so this is why I'm doing it. Pop any questions you have in the chat, and I'll just get started here. So the main thing about Hitless P5 is practice. Like you're gonna have to practice a lot, and you might not know how to approach that. So for normal practice, once you're starting out, you can just do runs of Pantheon 5, try and play safely, like see how little hits you can get on, like how many little hits you can take. And then two mods that really help with that are Godseeker Plus and Pantheon Hit Tracker. And then once you get to like 5 hits or something, you can start practicing in Hall of Gods. The nice thing about Godseeker Plus is that it actually gives you soul when you do radiant bosses, and it gives them P5 HP, which makes it so like you're actually playing the boss in the Pantheon. There's also the Pantheon Splitter. There's also Quality of Life. So Godseeker Plus is like a must-have. Pantheon Hit Tracker, it lets you like see the data for most boss fights. Like you can see which bosses you're gonna get hit a lot on, and then you can practice those with Godseeker Plus. So those two mods really help each other out, and they're super useful for practicing. So about charms, uh, the meta build for charms is Unbreakable Strength, Quick Slash, Shaman Stone, Steady Body, Ornell Master's Glory, and Mark of Pride, Overcharmed. So if you want to run Fluke Nest, because I know Fluke Nest is like broken, I'm not going to cover Flukiness because I didn't beat it with Flukiness and I don't know how it works. But if you want to run Flukiness, then you can replace Shaman Stone. If you're using a lot of spells and you're playing super aggressively, then you can place Mark of Pride and then keep Shaman Stone. If you're going to do anything else with the build, I recommend replacing Strength because Strength, it seems like a good DPS upgrade, but it's actually not. Most of your damage comes from Quick Slash. And while strength does help, like quick slash already carries most of your damage. Shaman Stone is like a must-have for any spell usage. And Mark of Pride is like an underrated save charm, so I recommend just using Mark of Pride, regardless. Because it can let you do like risky plays. Like pogos become a lot easier. You can stay farther away from the boss in reaction time. So like Mark of Pride is really a must-have as well. So if you're gonna replace anything, it's replace strength. And Steady Body or Nail Master's Glory is like the one slot charm that you can use. Uh, I personally prefer Steady Body. It makes your movement a lot cleaner. But if you're not used to it, then you can try Nail Master's Glory. And you can switch it in for like bosses such as Markov or like I don't know what else you could use it for, but maybe Nightmare Kingdom. But yeah, nail arts aren't really useful in this, so I don't really run it, but yeah, we can get started here. So Vengefly Kings are the first boss. They're really not too hard at all. They're just super annoying because you have to fight them after like making it to mark off and then dying. So the thing to note about Vengefly Kings is that this one on the left has way more HP than the one on the right. It's like a considerable amount. He has like double the HP. So what you really want to do in this fight is focus on killing this one. If you're really playing safe, you can only damage this match flanking and make it a 1v1 if you're like scared of this fight for some reason, but optimally you don't do that. So how I start off with is a jump. a jump, a nail hit, and then a turn around so I can double jump faster because you can't double jump while you're swinging your nail. So yeah, that double jump, and then you turn around back, get three nail hits in, and then you go back down. It seems complicated, but it's actually not. You get a soul cast, which is nice, and you would deal like a bit of damage to this top one. It's gonna be really annoying to like dash over to the right and then damage that one because you get a lot less damage off. So I just prefer attacking this one at the start. So from here, they can do two things. What you want to do is have them both charge. Both of them charging means this one will come down here and then slowly go back up here, which means you can kill him while pogoing. That takes care of him. That can like instantly kill him in one cycle if he charges down here, and then you'll just have to fight with this one. They can also summon. The summons are kind of annoying, but you can one-shot them easily with Mark of Pride and Strength. Or like, no, you one-shot them regardless, but Mark of Pride makes it a bit easier. Like they're not too much of a problem. So what you really want to see is this guy's charging. If this one's charging and this one's summoning, then I usually don't go for the hit because he's gonna be blocking my path for the pogos up. You're gonna see what I mean in a second, but usually if one of them summons, it's gonna be like bad. So this one charges, so I pogo him. This one summons. I get a bit of nail hits on him because I notice I can't really damage this one because he's going underneath. That's why I don't chase him. So I just damage this one a bit and then I Shade Soul to attack both of them. If you're really worried about soul consumption, then you can not Shade Soul here and just get an extra nail hit, but it deals a bit more damage for both of them. And it's like similar to getting a double hit, so I just prefer going for it in these situations. Then you kill the ads. They give you plenty of time to kill the ads in between their attacks, so that's what you should focus on. Then they both charge. If they both charge and they're like on top of each other, then you can just pogo both of them and that'll be dealing like double damage or something. So yeah, that's the right side one down. And then here you go for three pogos while when he's in the corner. And then you dash, and if you pogo here, he's gonna be right underneath you, allowing you to do the same thing on the right. So you can dash, pogo, uh, double jump dash, pogo, 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 and then you can rinse and repeat in these corners. It's a bit more complicated when you have a because you can't see your player once you're doing these. So what I prefer doing if I'm like playing safer, I just go for like hits and then wait for him down here. But with Mark of Pride, you can like easily stay up in the air. It's much easier with Mark of Pride, so that's I guess a benefit to using that charm. So here I go for four, as you can see by that missed swing, and then I dash, so I'm not gonna be able to make it in time. So here I just do nail swings, like that's the safe strat, and then finish them off here. So that's Vengeful Vikings. Not too difficult, but can be annoying at times. Okay, so start off Grasmover, you dash and Abyss Streak. Two Abyss Streaks actually. It's important to see where Grasmover is going, because she can sometimes get like a bad pattern and then just bounce into you while you're doing the second streak. So after the first streak is always safe. And then you can like see where she's going, and depending on that, you can either shriek again or dash or D-Dark. So yeah, then I go for nail combos. Grasmother will usually go above you after the shrieks, so she'll be like either here, or she'll go here, or she'll do that. So she'll be in this middle section after the two shrieks most of the time, so you can get like two nail hits in. Then she can go to this side of the screen, and then I prefer going to this platform. If she hasn't attacked yet, here she attacks. It was a bit hard to see, but I paused it after she attacked. Um, she can do two attacks. It's the bouncing one or just the charge. The charge is much more annoying, but you can react to it if she's farther away. If she's super close to you, then you can it's like a bit harder to react, so you have to like D-Dark. But if she does the charge, she's over here, she goes Neum, and then you just pogo her or like side slash her, and then you can deal damage then. She can get off a second attack if she does a charge first. But then she usually dies after two. What you want to see is the bouncing attack. because it's a really long attack and it's super predictable, much more predictable than the charge in my opinion. So you go for hits while your character is like at the same heights as her, so you can see she was down there, so I went for a hit, dash to get on the other side, go for hits. You have to mind the spikes because the spikes are super annoying. So I usually just dash or like double jump over them because like this gap is small, but like it's noticeable. And then you try and track her as much as you can, and then that'll kill her if she does the bouncing attack. So False Knight is nothing special. You can just do whatever you want. Mossy is nothing special. Just do whatever you want. Hornet, you can also do whatever you want, but like there's a science to it. So here she drops down. She's like invulnerable while she's doing this, but then she finishes the animation and then she's actually vulnerable. So what I do here is I go for 5 up slashes to keep her in place here, not so she doesn't get knocked back up against the wall, and then a 6 slash to stagger her. Hornet stagger count is 6, so because I already went for 5, I know this one's gonna stagger her. It's gonna stagger her, put her up against the wall. She was gonna be like in the air for a bit, so you can get 1, 2, 3 hits with quick slash, wake her up. She's gonna jump, you up slash, get a forfeit, and then 5, 6, she's staggered again. Like that's a super simple stagger lock. Same thing here, but you go for 2 hits there. I missed the up slash here, but I go for a dash because it was a far jump. If you miss an up slash, you can go for a dash and a side slash, like what happened here. Like, yeah, you can go for up slash. Oh, I missed it. Side slash, and then that deals the same amount. And then you 1, 2, 3, and then that staggers her. But you might notice I went for 4 hits here, and she's not staggered. That's because her needle attack actually nullifies her stagger count. Like she cannot get staggered while she's doing this, so you have to do the 6 hits over again. See, I went for 1, 2, 3, 4. I missed 1 hit, so that's 5, and then 6. And then that staggers her. She's always going to do a jump after the needle attack, even if it's an attack, you can still stagger her in time. And then that was 1 stagger, 2 stagger, 3 stagger. She skipped that one. This is the 4th stagger. So after 4 staggers, you can attack her 5 times, and then she'll die. That was 6 because of the needle attack, but normally it's 5 after 4 staggers. So yeah, that's Hornet. There's also a strat where if you do the 5 hits at the start, um, you get the 5 hits in and then you knock her over here. You can like you can side slash and then you can turn around and then do a shriek. This will keep her against the wall because shriek knockback depends on the position you're facing. So if you're like facing left, it'll always knock him back to the right. If you're facing right, it'll knock him left. So if as long as you're facing left and then you do the shriek, it'll knock her against the wall, and you can get more hits and then that'll stagger her. That's a stagger lock to keep her in one place, but I personally don't like it, so she gets to move around in this fight. So yeah, that's Hornet. Gorb is a bit tricky, but it can be dealt with. You go for he spawns in, you wait a second before he spawns in. I mean, you go for a 1, 2, the 1 hit after a jump, and then a double jump. You go for a second hit. You can also do like the turnaround thing, but that might put you in risk of like falling into the void here, so I don't do the turnaround. And then that's 2 hits, 3, 4. That's 4 hits, and it'll knock Gorb from over here to over here. So the benefit of getting Gorb on this side is that you're not locked away to using the middle platform, because then he'll just like barricade this side from you. But what we want to do is knock him all the way to the edge of the screen here. Because if he gets to the edge of the screen, Gorb will actually teleport to the middle, and that can let us get some extra damage. And it also stops him from attacking for a bit, which is nice. So we go for 1, 2 hits. You can also get a third hit if you're lucky, but he started an early attack. So then you dodge the first wave. It's always going to be first wave here. And then you Shade Soul. He has a big hitbox, so you can like hit him while on the ground. And sometimes this will double hit, but we don't really care if it double hits because all we want is to him so he gets knocked down into the side. Where Gorb spawns after this is right on top of the Godseeker or like right next to her. So you can go for hits before he even spawns in. So here I go for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he's already on the left side. So we're like basically doing that same maneuver from the start, but on the left side this time. Uh, that already gets like he's already half his health here. He does a second wave, so you can always predict first attack is third first wave, second attack is second wave, and then here is where it actually gets a bit complicated because here he teleports. He can do this at any point, which becomes annoying. What we really want to do is knock him over to the side of the screen, like as we did at the start. But if he teleports, we can't really do that anymore. So if he teleports, you just stay calm, land on the middle platform because this is much safer. If you jump here, then the sword can snipe you. Um, and then after you dodge the attacks, you can Shade Soul him. Because I was already pretty close to him, he can teleport farther away. You can Shade Soul him and then knock him in the middle, and then you can like do the same motion as you normally do. If you're on this side, you can double hit him for free and then make your way back forward to him. I tried doing the same combo. He teleports again. Once again, go to the middle platform. And then 4 hits, he didn't teleport. Here we can dash. If you're like, this looks a little bit janky, but these take super long before they actually fire away. So if you think you're in a tough spot, you can like D-Arc on top of this platform. Make sure you're on top of this cloud, on top of the clouds. And then that'll dodge them for free. But yeah, but then it's a simple jump over this. And then you can don't let him go forward because he'll always try to go forward towards the middle. Keep him in at this side of the screen. And then here, if he didn't die, he would teleport, and then after the teleport, I'd kill him. But yeah, that's a good example of a bad group fight because he did teleport a bunch. Just stay calm if he does teleport, and just try doing the same maneuver over and over. So that's Corb. You can pogo this platform. Just thought I should mention that. Dung Defender, you want to D-Arc him out of the ground at the start. You'll have iframe, so you won't have to dash here. Then you can side slash and or up slash actually, and then shriek. The reason we shriek here is because the shriek still lasts while he does the scream, so we can get extra damage on him. And then here, because you're right next to him, he'll always do a rollback. This is a good opportunity to use Shade Soul and get a double hit off, but I had input delay during this run, so I only got 1 hit. That's fine. That doesn't really matter. So here he can do 1 of 3 attacks. He can throw his balls. That's pretty easy. You just keep slashing him. Respect his hand because his hand has like a large hitbox, but you can still hit him. You can still be in rage with Mark of Pride. But the balls won't really hit you because they'll like die on this side of the floor. So they'll never actually reach you. He can do the swim attack. For that, you just dash or you D-arc. You can D-arc to deal damage, and that will also dodge the attack, so that's a plus. Here he does the underground attack. This is just a simple D-arc while he's on top of you, or like while you're on top of him, actually. That'll deal extra damage and it'll get him out. Um, so here, this is where I mess up. I forgot that he can do a scream before he staggers, because he didn't actually stagger this run. Um, so here I tried going for the stagger, but then he just ended up screaming. What you want to do on the scream, usually he staggers before his scream, so you can get 4 hits during the stagger, wake him up, and then shriek. If you get lucky and you get all your hits off, then that can stagger him again, because the stagger count is 8, and then you can just finish him off during while he's still screaming. But here I didn't go for it because once again I lost track of my counts, and then you can just finish him off here. He staggers again, and then before he even does any other attacks, you can just hit him and he'll die. Soul Warrior. Soul Warrior will always spawn doing the down attack. So you can always get an up slash here. I usually wait until I see him teleport or hear him. Because if you jump right before, then he can actually like spawn above you, making it like a bit tougher to dodge. So I just go for the up slash here. This is completely unnecessary, but it makes the fight like slightly shorter for some reason. Um, and then the strategy for Soul Warrior, you really want to get him up against this corner, because he can. If you're hitting him, he'll try to back away from you, and then once he backs away from you, then he can do an attack. But since he backs away into the wall, that'll actually like freeze him in place for a bit, which will which will let you get more damage off on him. He will still attack. It's not a stagger lock, but it gets more damage off on him, so you really want to do that. So he can do 3 attacks after a teleport. Um, he can do the down attack again. That's just a simple walk back. Here he does the orbs. You can dash into the orb with Shade Cloak. Here I wasn't sure I had it, even though I didn't dash, but I just went for the jump. The orb will loop around and then land back here. So you just want to stay here, or you can like dash through him if he's not here. The ghost, you just one shot the ghost. I don't know why I kept going for damage here because the ghost was actually like getting in the way of the orb, which made it a kind of tough to dodge, but then you can just up slash instantly and kill it. And then be mindful of the orb, of course. He does it again here, I can dash through that. And then the dash is actually useful because I can get him up against the corner again. As you can see, he was like standing in place for like a little bit, and then he teleports, does the jump. Yeah, you can just move that around. You can also dash if you're like unprepared for it, but I usually don't go for it. I just go right and then slide slash him. Then he does an instant teleport. That he can also do that. Um, that's if he's just being mean. Um, Usually you can get like a around 2 hits on him before he does it, but usually his attacks will lead him to go into a corner again. So this is the final attack. This is the charge or like lunge. You can jump over it or dash through it, and then you can get hits behind him. Yeah, so there's a ghost spawning there. I attack that. He does the teleport again. You don't really want to go for the Pogo because that puts you in the air and then you can't deal damage, but who cares? It dodges the attack. That's what's most important. He can also do, that was actually interesting. He can also do a charge or like a lunge without doing any teleport, so he can just charge from here, which is like just be mindful that he can do that without any teleports. So yeah, that's Soul Warrior. That's the only attack he can do without a charge. I don't think he can do the orb. Moloch, you should have full soul, so you can abuse that. You want to get one hit in, you can get two, but I go for one. Shade Cloak through him. He has a really tiny hitbox, so the Shade Cloak will always go through him. This will lead him to attack here, but he is not attacking anything. The first bit will also go over there, and then you get a hit in. He'll quickly attack you with the claw again. Okay, so now you're on this side. Why do you want to be on this side? Because Brooding Moloch is going to the left, and if you would still be on the left, he'd be like cornering you, and that'd make it hard to dodge. So this is why we do the Shade Cloak. So here the spit isn't normally a problem. You still want to be like watching out for it if it gets too close, but you really want to be watching out for the hands. You can get 1, 2, 3 hits, 4 while you're jumping up, but you don't have to do that. 3 hits, and then he'll do an attack. You can jump over, or you can like dash back. But dashing is riskier because the projectiles will get you. So that's kind of how he combos those attacks to be annoying. So yeah, you get 3 hits, jump. Oh, actually, he jumped here. But yeah, for the jump, he does that after spinning like around 4 projectiles or more. He does the jump, he lands on your position, and then he goes to his starting position. That's how you know on this arena, because normally he goes in the middle. But yeah, jump, you can just move away, get hits in while jumping again, and then goes back into this spot. And then you do the same Shade Cloak, same dodges. He does the jump again, and yeah, that kills him. He can also do like that spit attack, where he covers half the screen. For that, you can pogo above him, D-Dark, and then Shade Cloak back, because you still want to stay on the right side, even if he attacks on it. So I just D-Dark on top of him. That gets in damage from the D-Dark, but it's also safer because you don't have to Shade Cloak through him twice, which is a plus. So yeah, that's pretty well. Oreo, you just he will always do a jump if you're next to him. So you do 2 Abyss Streaks. It's super predictable. And then you don't have to do that. Like that was super risky. You just dash back here and then get 4 hits in. Then he can do another jump, which is preferred because it has a longer cooldown. But this one is like super fast. This is a pretty fast attack, so you can't really react to it well. You dash through that attack. You can also dash back if you don't see it coming. But dashing through him will let you get like 6 hits, and he doesn't ever jump, but it doesn't matter. Oreo, because Oreo is the one that teaches you the dash slash, he can do dash slashes. He can jump to either side of the screen, and then he'll charge it up for like a second and then go cross the screen. For that, you just wait and then pogo him and then keep attacking him. That's how you dodge that. So yeah, that's Oreo. Now it's Oreo and mayo. Don't try that food combo. You can dream nail them before they actually scream. That'll give you some soul, but I was full on soul, so I didn't really need it. So the way they attack here is actually kind of complicated. You want to stay behind Motto, actually Mayo, sorry. But the one you're closer to will jump back behind his brother, and then his brother will do an attack. Here he does the side slash for this. The side slash, you just move back slightly, wait for him to finish, and then you can keep going in for hits. So the way I dodge the side slash is pretty interesting. I do a jump while going into it, because the side slash only has like a small hitbox here, but then it has a large hitbox here. So if you jump, you're minimizing the chances you're gonna get hit. And then you can hit both of them because they're like on top of each other here. You really just want to hit the one who just attacked you with that side slash. So you do. Now he's doing a jump. If one of them is doing a jump, they'll roll. If one of them is doing a slash, they'll jump back, not like the jump attack. But yeah, so now Oreo's doing the jump. What you want to do for the jump is go underneath him, and then a bit streak. This hits both of them. Like this is an insane amount of damage from one abyss streak, which is insane. And then you can get extra nail hits too. Now they're gonna both attack because you're in the middle. If you're on the side of them, they'll only attack one at a time. But here they'll attack both at the same time. So here what I do is D-Dark. If you don't have soul for some reason, you can shade cloak through one of them, and then that'll dodge it. So they can do a double jump, a double slash, or one jump and one slash. D-Dark dodges all of them. So you do the same thing, slash, you jump like that. Nail arts, one of them will protect, so don't hit him. He'll try and parry your attack. The other one, you want to hit the one that's charging the nail art. This is Oreo attacking, so he'll do a dash slash, but because his brother is in the way here, he'll try and jump over. Mayo will jump over and go over here. So that's something to keep in mind. He'll always jump to the side of the screen while the dash slash is going on. He won't do it if you attacked him during his parry, but attacking him during his parry is pretty risky, so don't do that. So I just D-arc because I saw him coming. I didn't really know my position, but I was perfectly fine. I do a second D-arc because I see I'm in the middle, so they both attack. And yeah, now I just go in the middle of a streak. Because this one was farther away, he didn't get hit, but you just want to target at least one of them. So then once down, and this is just phase one again. Um, I played a bit safer there with those dashes, but yeah, that's Oreo and Mayo. Usually Oreo will die first. He has less HP. Um, so that'll leave Mayo with the Cyclone Slash. He never did the Cyclone Slash, but you can actually get an Abyss Streak while he's doing while he's going up. He's gonna stay up in the on here. So if you're over here, you can Abyss Streak. That'll get 4 hits in, and then he'll do the jump behind you, so you can get like more damage in. I personally prefer the Cyclone Slash because you can get a lot more damage on it, and it's much safer. So yeah, that's Pantheon 1. Make sure to bow to them for good luck. Make sure you're always getting full soul at the hot springs. I already have full soul, and you can dream nail them before, but like, there's no reason you shouldn't be sitting here if you don't have full soul. Like, a lot of the fights after the hot springs, they depend on you having soul. So yeah, so that's Pantheon 1. That was the first 10 bosses. And then we have Zero. So Zero here, this arena is kind of like janky, but you want to go over to the side and jump up. You want to do like a short jump. You don't want to go up against him, but you really want to be like right underneath him, and then you go for 3 Abyss Streaks. This melts his HP bar. Like this absolutely destroys him. He's gonna go to the left here, so I just let him go to the left. He can sometimes get knocked out of the Abyss Streaks, which will make him go left, but he'll always turn around and then getting damage like that. So here I just wait him out until he comes closer. You really don't want to go on this platform because this doesn't give you enough area to dodge the swords. If he's on this, he's going to this side, you don't want to go here because he's gonna like turn around here and you really never have to go here. And then you want to keep him in, he's gonna go right, you want to keep him going to the left with side slashes. So yeah, you try and arc your jump so it dodges one of the swords. So yeah, as you can see there, I tried going for a jump, but I've tried going underneath it as well. So here I lost him. He's kept going to the right. Um, Normally, he'll do this, like charging up above a platform. So what I usually do for that is I have this streak. Here it doesn't work because I'm not right underneath him. That just ends up knocking him out. So he gets hit once. I have a backup here, so that's getting multiple hits in after one sword and then she hits holding him. That'll always kill him 100%. Unless it doesn't double hit, but zero is super easy to double hit. So yeah. Um, this is just a soul totem with legs. Do whatever you want. Oh, actually, for this attack you want a D-Dark because sometimes they can like instantly spawn on top of you and you don't want to risk that. But yeah, that's all for soul totem. Now soul master. Two abyss streaks at the start. This will always deal full damage. Then you just play it as if you would soul tyrant. Like you want to be super safe on this fight. You don't really want to get hit. Um, so Pogo here, that'll uh stagger him. That's the charge. He does that super slowly when he's Soul Master. So you get like a side slash, Pogo, then you can dash Pogo and then side slash again. That'll stagger him. He has this massive stagger count, so you really want to get a lot of hits in. And then while he staggers, you can actually deal damage like that. You can actually just go inside of his hitbox. He can't hurt you while he's staggered. You can get like 4 hits in. This is why you don't dash on Soul Master because I almost dashed into him. Don't do that. This turnaround you can like get a hit in, but mostly just try dodging it. He'll randomly teleport, which is annoying. But you really just want to react, wait a second, and then try and get at least one hit in. You can usually get like 2 to 3 because it's Soul Master and he's slow. But so here he wanted to do the orb. The thing about the orb is that it doesn't actually track the player. Um, the player if the player is just going towards the boss, it'll just go over him, so you can just dash underneath it or just go underneath it. That's how you dodge the orbs. You never want to jump over them because they're gonna linger like as if it was Soul Warrior. So yeah, that's Soul Master. He can also do the attack where he goes across the screen, but for that you just wait it out. You can get Shade Soul double hits, but like that's not necessary. Phase two. You can't hurt him while he's doing this, so you just dash that. Here you can up slash, turn around, double jump, up slash, dash, and then do that. That's so yeah, that's jump, slash him, double jump, slash him, dash, and that. Yeah, that'll hit him. He can also feint you like that. He will give you plenty of time after the feint, so you can just like dash along the ground here and then get an extra hit in. He doesn't do this a lot when he's Soul Tyrant. Only Soul Master does this because Soul Tyrant is just way too quick to actually get the fades off. You'll see what I mean when I actually get to Soul Tyrant. And yeah, then he'll do this orb attack, but like this is where you usually get damage off, but because we got it during the dive, he just dies in one hit here. You can usually even kill him before he even starts that attack, but yeah. It's completely not required to do that like jump combo. You can get most of your damage here, so yeah, so this is the end of like all the bosses I would say are easy because we have a blobbles coming up which are pretty difficult for like if you're starting out. Okay, so my strategy for a blobbles is to stay on one side of them and then Shade Soul double hit them as much as I can. So I double jump up to this guy and then side slash him. This is because he can sometimes start going to the right here into the corner and then he can start attacking in the corner, which will just leave you in the middle. It's really hard to dodge when he's in the corner here. So you want to side slash him here so he'll always chase you. This is a bit rough because he started going down, but you can up slash him as well to like give you enough time. You're always gonna fall underneath. He's never actually gonna bump into you, but you want to get a side slash off on him. That's the most important part. So he starts going this way. This will leave you room here. This is gonna be your safe spot for phase one. You can get a side slash in here, but mostly you just want to wait until they start attacking. And then you can get Shadesol double hits. You want to target this one mostly. Uh, you want to target this one because he's like closest to you. The other one is like not going to be on your screen, but you can also hit that one as well. Um, so you can get three double hits here with Shade Soul. It's easier when he's attacking, but of course, while he's attacking, it's going to be a bit riskier. So I usually go for it right before he starts attacking. So then the attacks are super simple to dodge. They're like slow. You just usually they'll overlap, not making them too difficult. But usually the thing about these attacks is that they'll go in like you'll spit four, and then the ones you only have to worry about the ones that are closer to you. And then those are usually just two projectiles, so that's how you dodge it. If you're in a really tough spot, you can just D-Arc. That's a good option for everything. So here I tried going for damage, but they were kind of like bunched up, so I tried to get the over one away with a Shade Soul double hit. And then I try to finish him with nails. So what you want to do after that those first three Shade Souls is finish the one on the right. Here this happens. You want to make sure that this one doesn't start attacking as you kill him because he can like leave lingering projectiles. But yeah, this was like a super risky dodge. You usually want to jump over it. Um, in phase two, it's a bit harder in my opinion. So you want to start off with nail slashes, and then you get a nail art. This is your first nail art of the game, by the way. And then you want to not dash through a projectile. That's super bad. So what you want to do is jump, jump. This should have been a mini jump, so you don't put yourself at risk to getting hit by that. Um, so that the thing about that dash is that now I can't do a dash slash. The issue with that is well, your normal strat here is to do a dash slash once he stops attacking. Um, once he stops attacking, you dash slash him, he'll always turn around to face you, and then he'll go down and then up, and then you can up slash him, and then he'll go back down. So you can repeat that motion as many times as you want, and then you can like Shade Soul whenever you want. But here I get a great slash instead because my dash ended. So whenever this happens, just play safely. Wait until the Oblobble goes back up against the ground. You can get extra damage here, but it's a bit more risky. So yeah, let's see if I actually get it here. Dash slash actually miss here. I'm bad. But up slash, that'll make him come back to the ground. That chisel was a mistake because he hasn't started attacking yet. Now he turns around, but that doesn't really matter. Just don't chisel that early. Dash slash, up slash. Yeah, this is the perfect setup. You dash slash, up slash chisel, and then you can get double hits. So here, because he's up against a wall, he started going up earlier, and then that I don't even know. I have to rewatch that. But yeah, so the dash slash knocked him against the wall. He becomes like a Windows logo and he goes all crazy once he hits the corner. So you want to up slash him still here, but what you want to do to be safe is stay on this side because he can corner you, but he was already dead, so it didn't even matter. So yeah, Blobbles are the first difficult fight. And it's like this is the hardest split for newer players of Lobos to Marmu. It's super difficult. But yeah, if you use this strat, it's mostly consistent. Just make sure your dash slashes are once they stop attacking, because then they sometimes won't turn around in time. Okay, so this is definitely Mantis Lords. You get three hits in, jump over that, dodge that, and then get three hits in each time. You can dash through that. That's super easy to dash through. And then you can get like five hits here. Yeah, do that. And then it's even easier if the mantis is on the bottom because you can just dash over it. But yeah, this is super simple. It's not really the whole point of the fight. But okay, so you beat one, now you have to fight all three. Um, so here. They can do a lot of attacks. Like it's unreal how many combos there can be. So your main goal is to stay in the middle as much as possible, because there is this attack where two of the mantises go on either side and then they do the dash along the ground. Sometimes they can get a cheap hit on you. If you're like standing here, then the mantis can just spawn on top of you and it's unavoidable. So that's what you want to avoid this fight. So here, you see it's coming down. You go down here. The reason I dashed through here is actually because this one spawned a bit further to the right, so I just didn't want to risk going over here, so I just dashed through it to stay in the middle here. This puts me in a bad spot here, but I know after and once three of them spawn, it'll repeat a cycle, and two of them, they can't do the double dash again, so that's something to keep in mind. But you just dodge these by going away, and you can sometimes dash through them to stay in the middle. So yeah, that's your main goal. Just stay in the middle as much as possible. Yeah, that's the attack you're fearing. Like they spawn on top of you and they get a cheap hit, and that's what you don't want to do. So here you pogo both of them, and then D-Dark. It not only deals damage, but it also dodges this attack reasonably. If your D-Dark is super early, then you can like dash, and then that's how you dodge it. For the blades, you want to Abyss Streak this one. You can always Abyss Streak this one, like almost all the time. If you're scared of going for your Abyss Streak, just stay in the middle. Um, and then you hit this one, and then you either jump over them or dash under them. It just depends on which combo you get. Since they're always going to be on the top, they can do the attack where it like zeroes in on you on the middle, and then it goes like that, or they can overlap like that. So it's going to be short or long. If one of them does long and then one of them does short, that's you just jump over, you dash away and you jump over. This attack was they both did a long. See, it went to the side of the screen and then went back. They just jump over that with the pogo. And then if they both do a short one, then it's gonna leave like a tiny spot in the center. Don't go for the dodge in this spot. So the mantis will usually drop down here. So what you want to do is dash, dash, and then double jump over that. So yeah, this is the same. So if one of them does a charge, you also want to do a pogo and D-Dark. That's because sometimes mantis can spawn above you, like over here, and then that can be tricky to dodge. So you want to go on the side and then D-Dark above him, above her actually. Sorry. And then after the second one comes in, you can up slash it from after the D-Dark and then just do that. So you repeat this motion a couple of times. Once you do it a bunch, it won't give you enough time to do another D-Dark, so you just dodge it normally by jumping over that one, and then you can get like combo hits here. So yeah, this is just jump, jump, and then dash because you want to stay in the center. Here, this one was going for a single, but because I killed this one thought it was like a second phase, so they did like a delayed double here. I even commented on it during the run. But yeah, you just do the same thing. So it gets a bit easier. Sometimes they can overlap attacks, not knowing that this one died, so they can give you like a tough pattern, but that usually won't happen. So this is just normal Mantis Swords. You don't have to do the D-Dark again, because you won't be hitting anything else. And then, yeah, you just kill them. So this one gives you a bench, which is nice. Because right after it is Marmor. Marmor you definitely want to get full soul for. So this fight sucks because she has bad physics. Like you can bounce her into the walls and then she'll bounce right back and hit you. So you really don't want to bounce her at all. So you just kind of want to deal most of your damage for spells. So what I do is jump, dash. It's not a high jump because then you'll dash into her. But short jump, dash, two Abyss Streaks. This will hit her while she's going up. Usually if you Abyss Streak her while she is doing the like bounce, it'll just like bounce around the screen, but because it's her starting animation, she doesn't actually take that knockback, so that's just some free damage here. And then you D-Dark, because it's super hard to recover, she'll go at you like lightning fast, so you just D-Dark here. This can get like two hits on her if you're lucky, but she'll either bounce off this wall or that wall, you get an up slash on her, and then you can play ping pong for a bit. Once she spawns here, you always want to D-Dark, because not only does it give you damage, but um, it also dodges it because she can come in at very different velocities. She can come in super slowly or super quickly. D-Dark always dodges it no matter what, so that's what you want to avoid. Um, So yeah, that's if she spawns on the side after a teleport. And then you can play ping pong. Like she'll slow down a bit, and you can just like side slash her or up slash her. It doesn't really matter. She won't be able to hit any of the walls because your nail will slow her down a bit. So unless she teleports, you can safely play ping pong with her. And then yeah, that's Marmo. So yeah, that's a super quick fight, but it's necessary to avoid most of it. Fluke Marmo, I don't really care. Broken Vessel also doesn't really matter. You want to play the snail only because Galeon is after. It's basically just slower lost kin, but in this run I got 4 jumps in a row, which was like insane, like that. And once that happens, you always want to stay on the other side of him. So hence all those dashes. You can sometimes go underneath him, but then he'll just target you again. So yeah, that's the only bad part. Just dash underneath him. You want to, if he's on the left, you want to stay to the right of him. If he's on the right, you want to stay to the left of him. And then that's how you avoid the jumps. That's the scariest attack. All the other attacks are just simple dodges. Galeon, you start off with 3 shrieks. Sometimes this scythe will actually, at the start, it'll bounce off here. So if you stand here, you'll always be safe. It'll go against the corner, but it won't have the funky corner physics yet. So you can just dash under that. Here's where it gets a bit RNG dependent because Galeon will try to like fly away from you or fly into you, and then you have to respond to what happens then. So if he spawns the second scythe, that's usually not a problem. If it starts comboing you with the scythe, you just always D-Dark. So this I should have dashed. I'm gonna replay that. But yeah, it goes down here. It's always gonna target you. You want to go underneath it. You don't want to go to the side that's gonna speed it up more. Yeah, this is invincibility. Like what even is this? Um, so that spawns a second scythe, and then you just keep going for up slashes here. This is a bit wonky, but because it bounced off the corner here, so it's gonna go over here. But since it went over you after, like during the arc, it's gonna arc back here and then try and go back over you, which can lead it to going in arcs instead of like angles. So that's kind of that's kind of weird, but you'll get used to it eventually. Like if there's anything like going wrong with the second scythes and the first scythe comboing you or something, then you can just like D-Dark and yeah, that'll kill him. But yeah, Galeon is a much bigger problem than I first anticipated. Like you really need to get good at this fight. Shio, this is a case study for Shade Soul double hits. You want to spam Shade Soul here, get one Shade Soul double hit here, because he'll always jump back if you're next to him. Blue attack, you get one hit and then Shade Soul double hit. For the blue, you can dash underneath it actually. So you can like dash here, but normally that'll like sometimes put you into his hitbox, which is, you don't want. So you just go underneath it and then you do the slash and then a double hit. But you can also dash if you're like scared. This, you want to get a hit off of him, but then if you're next to him while he's up against the corner, then he'll try and jump over you, which is like RNG dependent, because he can sometimes land on you. So you just want to get a sneaky hit in after the yellow attack and then dash back. The yellow attack is just jump, by the way. Then he'll try going forward next to you. That's what we want because then we can still double hit him. Yes, so one hit, double hit. He didn't actually roll back, but here he does because he did a jump. But the jump, you want to stay in this column here. You can sometimes stay in here, but it's like way riskier. So yeah, you want to stay in this column. You do a jump because the slam hitbox is like pretty wide. It's like a D-Dark, but it only covers the ground, so you always want to jump here, and then you can get 3 hits, or actually 2 hits, and then a double hit with Shade Soul, and then staggers. You can just hit him, and then yeah, this you get a hit in, and then you D-Dark like that. That's super easily dodge attack because that's one of the hardest attacks. Yeah, sneaky hit, dash back, jump, 2 hits, uh, hit, D-Dark. Yeah, it's like once you know how to dodge the attacks, it's like you just do the same things over again. So here, I don't really care if he jumps because after the second stagger, he will die after 4 hits. So you don't. It doesn't really matter what attack he does. And then super useful hot spring here. You get a bunch of soul because you just used it all in Shio. Now it's Pantheon 2, so you're technically halfway done, but not really. Okay, so Hive Knight, he can teleport, or he can just do a charge right off the bat. You can always get in one hit before he does any of these. He did the teleport and then the lunge. So here, you don't have to go behind him on this attack. A lot of people just jump over him or dash to stay behind him. What I do is I stay on the same side of him. It's because this like it doesn't go very far. Like you can just go the other direction and it'll completely dodge it. And then even if you get a hit in during here, like it's a super small hitbox, so it won't even hit you most of the time. And then you can get three hits after it. Like that's guaranteed three hits during this attack. Here you can get damage before he summons the spike balls. What you do, this is from the Lumos guide, if any of you remember that. But you dodge one of them, and then once the second one starts attacking, you D-Dark, because these two will attack like almost at the same time, which will be pretty bad overlapping. And then Hive Knight will also jump, which is like really hard to deal with, so you just D-Dark. Yeah, this you just jump two. You can get two hits in if you really want damage after each jump and before each lunge. So here he staggers, so I don't actually go for the D-Darks because I'm afraid of waking him up. So yeah, he does that, and I think he dies here. Yeah, and I can just dodge those because he's not gonna jump. So normally you just D-Dark on those on that attack, but yeah. The attack that we didn't get, which is the most problematic one, is the bees. So the bees, while he summons the bees, you really want to stagger him. So you can get like five hits or something while he's summoning the bees, which is like which can sometimes stagger him, but you can't count on it. Uh, and then when the bees are coming down, they're gonna come down from the top of the screen. I mean, he's also gonna do a lunge. So to avoid all of that, as he starts the lunge, you D-Dark. Like you don't even have to D-Dark above him, you just D-Dark because it'll put you behind or in front of him, depending on the knockback from the D-Dark, and then you just dodge the beast normally. You really want to like stagger him for that attack. That's something you really want to do because then you can just wait out the bees and then attack him because the lunge is like super hard to deal with bees. Elder Who is not much of a problem. You just Abyss Streak here that most of the time it gives four hits, and then you just want to do up slashes. You can dash that. Like, you don't have to go for the opening. You can just Shade Cloak. It's not even that precise of a timing. You just Shade Cloak and then that dodges it. It can be done at any height, so yeah, that's how you dodge that attack. You want to go for up slashes most of the time. I don't know why I went for side slashes there, but the pancake attack, you can charge up a nail art, um, dash under the first one, and then you're gonna stay in the middle, and then you can, depending on which side he spawns on, you can get the dash slash off. You can get side hits here. That's like the one time I usually go for side hits, and then you can keep going for up slash hits. Um, so about the nail art, you want to shade cloak here, but then you want to do a normal dash over. This is because then your shade cloak recovers in time for the next attack, which can let you dodge it easier. So that's why you shade cloak underneath. So here you shade dash this to intentionally burn it, then you do a normal dash, and then you'll have the shade cloak. Collector isn't too much of a problem. You just do a dash and then an abyss streak. This is somewhat precise, but you can get a good timing on it. This will deal damage before he starts the fight, so that's good. Go for damage here. And then you can one-shot the minions with strength. This is the one time like strength is actually recommended. Um, because then you instantly one-shot them. If you don't instantly one-shot them for some reason, you can go for Cyclone Slash. That'll also deal damage to him. But yeah, then he'll always jump over you. So you want to stay next to him, and then he'll always jump over you and then go back up. He can do like multiple jumps. Once he does that, you can try chasing him for damage, but it's like somewhat inconvenient. So usually he does like multiple jumps and then goes back, or just one jump. Sometimes you go for an attack, you can just dodge underneath him. Okay, so one shot the minions. The first two jar summons, actually, something to keep in mind, the first two jar summons, no matter how much damage you deal to him, they'll always summon one jar. Um, This is good because you can sometimes get super good damage, and then that'll put him in like phase two, but he'll still summon one minion, which is really good. So the staggers, you can get Dream Nails if you uh are slow on soul and if you want to use soul. Um, I don't recommend going for Abyss Streaks on this fight because most of the time they won't hit him. But yeah, and your nail will cover most of the damage. But yeah, so you attack that. I don't know why Shade Soul here. I could have just done a normal hit. I thought like the correct collector was gonna hop on top of me or something, but you just hit that normally. If the minions summon like one, two, and then like three, so you hit that, and then oh no, there's a primal aspect over there. You just Shade Soul him. Like that'll obliterate him. And then you keep dealing damage to the boss. One tap one. Yes, yeah. So this is what happens. Like, uh, primal aspect here. So this is I don't know why I hesitated here, but I tried turning around to go for that one for some reason. But yeah, so I went for Shade Soul because he's out of Mark of Pride range, and then another Shade Soul there. So this is a bit funky. Um, so yeah, because this is all because I hesitated here. Um, I didn't land the hit on this primal aspect for some reason. What you normally do is just hit Shade Soul, and then he'll jump over you. But because he ended up doing an attack, the Shade Soul like locked me in place, but there's a way around it. So there's a projectile here from the Primal Aspid, so you can't really just walk over, you can Shade Cloak. But I didn't really think of that, so you can do a jump. This is because Collector doesn't actually attack you until he's at the bottom, the very bottom of the floor. That's something to keep in mind. His attack doesn't go in the air, so you just do a jump and then dash. And yeah, that's killed him. That was super janky. It's normally not that hard, so yeah. God Tamer is a bit tricky. You want to hit the Tamer as far away from him as possible, so you can see her while she's doing the jump. But yeah, you target the Beast here, so you go for quick slash hits, but then you really want to go above him and then pogo with Mark of Pride. Um, this is why you want the Tamer far away, because then most of the time she won't even hit you. So pogo the Beast. If the Beast starts a roll, if a beast starts a roll, you want to D-Dark, and then like sometimes you can get Shade Soul double hits. But it's not doing a roll. This spit attack, this is why you pogo, because the spit attack is like super dumb to dodge, so you just pogo here. Here the tamer was on top of the beast because the beast walked over to the left. Here this is why I shade cloaked because I knew she was gonna jump soon, and then I just did a side pogo on her to keep her down. That's why you really just want to focus on the tamer a lot of the time, and then he did a roll, so I did a D-Dark. But if you're in a really tough spot, you can just D-Dark here, but sometimes the spit, because like you can, if you, oh no, I'm gonna get hit by the tamer, I'm gonna D-Dark, and then like you D-Dark here, but then you dash out of him, and then you just hit the spit. This is why you don't really want to D-Dark unless he does the roll. Yeah, so he did the roll. You can go for Shade Souls here, but I went for an extra hit on the tamer. This not only gives you soul, but it also pushes her away from you, which is nice. That's the beast will go here and then go up, and then it'll track your position. But because it's so slow, like this is relatively slow for an attack, you can just change your horizontal position, and then that'll dodge it most of the time. And then you go for side slashes and then go up. So here I couldn't really pogo because the tamer was in my way, so I just did a D-Dark to dodge the attack. That's a good example of when to use D-Darks. You can get hits in on the tamer for soul. Grim, there's two play styles for Grim. You can play him aggressively or you can play him normally. I play him aggressively. So what you do to play him aggressively is, this is called Enrage Grim. You dream nail him to get soul. Most of the time you don't really need it, but it's good to have. So you dream nail him, and then you abyss shriek. This is because Van He'll do a scream, but the abyss shriek will still hit him 4 times. Then you do a hidden, get a hit while he's teleporting. He'll always do pufferfish, so you don't move, and then you shriek, and then you just have to dodge the pufferfish. So that was 2 shrieks and a normal hit, and we're charging up a nail art to dash slash him here as he's disappearing. When he's in the pufferfish, you can't hit him with your nail, but as he ends the attack, you can actually hit him. There's a small window where you can deal damage. So we maximize that with the dash slash. Um, One thing to keep in mind is that he will always end the attack with this this thing. So you can do like none at the bottom, one at the bottom, or two at the bottom. If there's two up the bottom, you have to predict whether he's gonna end the attack because he always end the like that one he didn't end the attack, but he always ends the attack on this two at the bottom. So that's something to keep in mind. So you can jump over that and then dash slash with item. Then he'll always do it a second time. This is his pufferfish activates at 75, 50, and 25 intervals. 75%, 25%, 50% of his HP. Because he dealt two shrieks and a nail art, he's always gonna go back into the pufferfish. This is his 75 pufferfish. And then you just do a short hop, long hop, wait for that, long hop, short hop, long hop. And then yeah. This will stagger him. Oh, actually it didn't, but normally that staggers him, but I guess I didn't get a lot of hits on the Abyss Streak, so you'll have to dodge one of his attacks, and then that'll stagger him. You can only deal an upwards of 50 damage here, but I keep attacking even after two hits, because two hits is like 60 damage, so it caps off after two hits. But I keep hitting him here for soul. He can go on the ground here, and then that's annoying, but yeah. And then he does, this is a 50% interval pufferfish, so you just keep going for the abyss streak. How I predict these is a bit weird, but you just, after the stagger, he will always do the 50% interval one. If you dealt 50 damage during the stagger, which is easy to do. So you just stand up here and then you can keep going here. You can also dodge on this side, like there's nothing wrong with dodging on this side. And then after each attack, he only attacks once before he does it again, so that was 50%. Um, dash slash. He always does an attack here. There's no way to avoid it unless you deal like a Shade Soul hit or something. But yeah, this is just stand in the gap and then hit him again and then run back and then have his streak again. This is because he always does this after normal attacks. This is his 25% interval. The Abyss Streak will get most of that, and then here he gets an attack off. He'll never dies while he's staggered. So even if you deal more damage, his health is gonna go in negatives and he's just not gonna die. So you're always gonna have to wait for one more attack. So let's talk about the attacks. Here you get a hit while he's going down, pogo, and then a dash. That's super easy it's way easier than you think. Here, you see him going for the uppercut, so you go, I don't know why I went left, but you want to jump right, and then do a side slash, and that'll put you in place to dodge him. But he died here, so you don't really see that. And then the spikes ones, he already did that, so you just stand in the gap. And the bats, you just double jump dash. So that's how you dodge all the attacks. So yeah, that's how you stagger lock Grim or something. That's the enraged version. The normal version, you just get to do more of the actual fight instead of just the pufferfish phase. So yeah. I prefer the pufferfish phase because like you get to miss out on a lot of the attacks and then you miss out on a lot of the attacks and then like the pufferfish phase is not too bad to dodge. So now you're actually halfway through the bosses. I marked this as the halfway point. Um so this is printed to start. Whoops. Gotta love YouTube hotkeys. Okay. So Watcher Knights. You want to stay on this side of the Watcher Knight. You can also charge up a Nailer, but you don't have to. You want to stay on behind him because once he spawns in, he'll have to turn around. That's like that's like a 2 frame animation, but it lets you get an extra nail hit here. So you want to get 5 hits. Wait, actually, how many did I get here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's 4 hits. Normally you get 5, and then you get 6 here, and that finishes them off. So I had to do a Shade Soul double hit. But yeah, for the attacks, you get 4 hits here, 5 hits here, and then Shade Cloak through him, and then 6 hits here to finish him off. If he can only do the roll after he does a side slash. Like he can't do what's a roll right off the bat. So yeah, that's how you can like kill him. This is what you want to do with most of them. Dream Nail to get soul if you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. That was 4, yeah. and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you want to focus on one of them. You want to focus on the closer one of them. So I'm focusing not too much on dealing damage here. How you dodge the attacks is shade cloak through this one, but you can shade cloak away. You can also D-Dark it if you're up against a corner and you don't think your shade cloak will make it. Um, yeah, so here I went away because this was a back roll. Back rolls suck because they don't actually attack you, they just push them backwards and you think they're gonna attack you, but they actually don't. But normally for the roll, if he goes here in this position, I just jump over him and then Shade Soul. That not only hits him with the double hit, that also hits the other guy. Then he does that. Because they're comboing attacks here, I just D-Narc. That's the safest way to dodge. I wait for this one to finish. I don't actually damage this one. And then I kill him. This is a 1v1 again, so then I wait for him to finish the attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was because I dealt damage to the D-Dark, so yeah, we got to end the fight quicker. Now this one's gonna spawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's how you normally kill the Watcher Knights. Now the other one's gonna spin in 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here I'm a bit scared, so I do the D-Dark. And then there's one more, so you just do the same thing. This is an ideal version of a Watcher Knights fight, because you kind of solo each one of them with your nail. So that's kind of like what you're really going for here. Yeah, and then you just finish this one off with nail only. Umu, heal your dream nail her even if him, I don't know. Heal your dream nail it even if you don't need soul. This is because it pushes Umu back. Then you dash, dash, and then go back down here. This platform is your safe place. If it does the homing attack, then you just go up the wall and then you jump down. If it does the full screen attack, then you'll always be safe here. So yes, so this is the chase. You can just jump down here. You don't have to go to the other platform. Um, so here Umu does two attacks. Umu can do 0 attacks, 1 attack, or 2 attacks before she actually summons the jellyfish. If she does 1 or 0 or 1 attacks, you jump on this platform and you side slash it into her. Depending on where it is. Sometimes you have to wait out an attack and then wait for the second jellyfish. But yeah, so this is 2 attacks. So what I do here is I bait her down, and then I C dash. This gets her down here, and then you can just Shade Soul the jellyfish right into her face, and then you can get an easy one cycle here. This is the easier version of the fight. If there's one, like let's say this jellyfish is like here and then the Umu is here. Or like actually I'm down here, Umu is here, she's like, oh I'm gonna summon one. Uh you jump over here underneath Umu, you go to this platform, you like wait and see where the jellyfish are. If there's a jellyfish on this side, you go to that side. If there was one here, you go here. So if let's say this one actually summoned after 1 attack, you go next to it. If Umu does like the chasing attack, the homing attack that follows the player, then you just dodge the attack normally, go down here, and then you wait for the second jellyfish, and then you just use the second jellyfish. Because this one will be like way up here by the time the attack finishes, so. And then if it does the full screen attack, you can hit her, and you can hit the jellyfish into it and then dodge the attack later. So don't do this. You get invincibility once the fight ends and you're getting teleported away, but that's super risky because what if you don't have invincibility? Just don't hit the jellyfish at the end. Nosk, you up slash and a bit streak here right off the bat. And then what Nosk can do is the summons, you just kill the summons. Here you do a dash and then double jump and then land in the safe spots. The dash is like required for this because this is a super RNG attack. It's the timing isn't that precise. The attack falls super quickly, so you're gonna dodge most of it either way. Just don't go super early. You can go later a bit, but you'll have to jump lower. I mean, you double jump here. If Nosk does a charge, then you can just pogo him from the double jump, and you won't have to land. If he does a summon, then you'll land here. Then you do dash, pogo, dash, and then Shade Soul. This will double hit him most of the time. Yeah, double hit. That's what you do for the charge normally as well. So for this attack, you just D-Dark. It's super RNG. You don't want to risk it, so you just do kill summons, dash double jump, pogo pogo. That was a single hit, but I got it lucky. You really like want to use most of your spells here because you don't really use it for Sly. Sly is a very no-only boss. So that's Nosk. Sly, the riskiest part about Sly is that you don't know what he's gonna do at the start. Afterwards, it's a very scripted fight. So here I just hit him. No matter what he does, I just hit him. He can jump back. He can do the three-hit combo. But no matter what, you just hit him and then dash away. So here, this is the jump. He will jump, do a swing, and then another swing. Sometimes he won't do the second swing. He won't do the second swing if you're like too far away from him. He'll just sit there after the first swing for like a couple seconds. But yeah. So you just wait that attack out, you dash away from it, and then you can get two hits here. I think that was three, but yeah, you get three hits in here. That was one, two, and then three. The third one is the pizza cutter. This will leave him in the air, so to dodge this attack, like, yeah, I jump here, and then I push them after three hits, and then I dash back. That's how you dodge most of his attacks, you just dash away. Like, as you can see here, I got tried going for three hits and then dash back. He does that again, you stand underneath him, one, two, three, dash back. This, you can have this streak underneath here and then just deal tons of damage, but that's super inconsistent. So what I do is go on the walls and then pogo here. You can do a pogo and then another pogo and a double jump, or a dash pogo, or dash double jump actually. This, if he goes back, one thing to know is that if he goes back, yeah, he jumped back here. If he is super far away from you, then he'll just try running up to you and then do an attack. This is super scary because he's like gonna oh my wa mushin do you. Um, so what you want to do is jump to the wall as soon as possible. This like since he does the swing here, this doesn't give you enough time to just dash away. So you wait here on the wall. He's always gonna do two and then jump over that. That's how you dodge it if he's like running after you. If you so let's say he's running up to you. If you jump over back, he's gonna actually turn around and then try and get the second swing off on you. So you want to stay on the wall as much as possible. Go for three hits here. What's it? Three. Dash slash, you just jump. Super simple. Um, one, and then you can get three hits while he's staggered, and then two more once he jumps back to his nail. This is the same thing. Like he tried backing up here, and then I ended up being too far away. So yeah, I do so the same thing on the wall. Great Slash, you just dash away, and that's the same thing you do for all the attacks, and then that's phase one. So here, as you can see, I'm like trying to stand in a precise spot. You want to stand in like this-ish spot here. You want to like be touching this candle in the background. Um, and then after he screams, you go behind this candle and then do an abyss streak. That's how you do it. That melts most of his HP. And then afterwards you do a dash once he goes next to you. There's an obvious cue for when he does that because he does like a little spin before the actual damaging spin. Like yeah, spin and then the actual spin. And then you get two hits in here with quick slash and Mark of Pride. Mark of Pride makes this super easy to hit him. So yeah, and then that I dashed underneath him. That's very viable still. And then Dream him at the end because he actually still has the hitbox out to him if you want. And then the Hornet 2, I struggle with this fight a lot. Like this is actually harder than Nightmare King Grin. Like I'm not even joking. Um, I found a new strat for Hornet where you basically play it as if it's Hornet 1. You try and go for staggers, but that's way riskier. So what you do here is you go in for one hit after each attack, or before and after each attack. So here, this is the only attack you can hit her while she's attacking. Like you can get two hits in here and before you jump over the needle, and then after that you hit her once, and then you back off. So yeah, I get lucky here. Um, so the jumps are the weirdest part because sometimes she'll just jump randomly, or sometimes she'll do attacks after the jump. Whatever it is, just try dashing away from her. You can sometimes go underneath her, but like sometimes she does these like tiny jumps where she just jumps in place. and then that won't give you enough time to react, so she'll just like end up comboing you or something. The jumps are like the scariest part here, and her instant attacks. So here I dash away and then Shade Soul the wrong way because I'm an idiot. You can get 2 hits after she lands, but I usually go for one. Jump or this attack. Sometimes you can do like another one instantly right after it, and then there's nothing you can do, so just turn around and go for that. This again, you just try and stay on one side of her. Go for one hit and then back off. But she does the parry. The parry you can actually get a dream nail in if you're snazzy, but I'm not snazzy. I'm an idiot, so I didn't go for it. One hit, and then that was the only time you dash underneath her once after the stagger, because you get one hit in, and then you can always shade cloak underneath her. That's what you do. And then shade soul here, because you have a lot of soul. After one stagger, you played the first fight safely with nail only, but then after the first stagger, you just use a lot of spells. So you get here, and then after the first stagger, you use soul spells. So you use after the first hit, she does the attack, and then after the attack, you can like shade soul her. Here, she'd set up the spike traps. Those can be cleared with D-Dark or shade soul depending on your situation. So do that. She's gonna get no, she didn't get stuck there. It's fine. Yeah. So see, one hit after she attacks, I shade soul. That's what you do now. Because she's close to me, I don't shade soul here. But yeah. And then yeah, then you finish her off. She only does one stagger, but she can do two if you deal a lot of damage. Of course, the needle also resets her stagger count. But yeah, that's important too. So now we're entering Pantheon 4. This is Soul Totem but mad. Just do whatever. Just do the exact same thing. It doesn't really matter that he deals double damage because you're doing it hitless. Lost Kin. Shade Soul at the start. That's a free double hit. Yeah. Um, Then you want to see where he jumps because you want him to kind of go to you. After the jump, you want to go next to him. Like it doesn't matter where he jumps. Sometimes he goes far, and then you can jump underneath, go underneath him, and then he'll deal damage. But you want to stay close to him. You want to stagger him here as fast as possible, but also while still dealing damage. So while playing safely, actually. So you kill the ghosts as soon as they spawn in. That's your priority. After this attack, you just dash. You know it's going to be this attack because this attack is a bit faster and he's pauses here above you. He'll usually never jump this fast. And then you can get 3 hits in here. He'll jump back. That doesn't matter. That gives you an opportunity to hit a ghost. Yeah, like this is a bit slower. And then you can see that and then you can see that he doesn't pause here. That's how you differentiate the jumps. And then you dash, do that, and then just mainly you want to stagger him. This is a bit unlucky because like the ghost kind of got in my way. And he did some unlucky patterns, but after the stagger, this fight becomes a lot more free. So what you want to do is clear the ghosts if any of them spawn in, but then you want to do a pogo and instant D-Dark. No matter what attack he does, he will almost always get hit 3 times by the D-Dark. This time he got hit by 2, but then you do 1, 2, 3 hits, and then he's staggered again. So that's because his stagger count is literally 0. Kill the ghost, pogo, D-Dark, here he jumped away, so I did a Shade Soul. The Shade Soul double hit just ensures that you're still dealing damage and your stagger count doesn't reset. Um, and then after this, the up slash, he gets staggered again. Kill the ghosts, and yeah. So yeah, this is just me playing a bit safer, killing the ghosts before actually going in for damage. I actually did made a mistake here. I used like a Shade Soul here for some reason, which is bad because it wastes soul. And you really want soul for the next fight, which is No Eyes. No Eyes. So she can spawn in let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 positions. You want to stay on this platform. Uh, because of that, she's never gonna spawn here. This is one of her spawn positions, but she never spawns close to the player, like this close to the player. Um, so if she spawns here, you can Shade Soul. This will sometimes double hit her, but usually the Shade Soul isn't meant for damage. This is like meant to teleport her around. Then you wait. If you have enough soul, you can Shade Soul her again. But mostly you just want to focus on dodging the ghosts. You charge up a nail art. If she spawns here or here, You can deal damage with her for with the Great Slash. Those are the two prime spots later. Here, you let go of the Great Slash. Make sure you're safe from the ghost. And when you deal a Pogo, the Pogo is not meant for damage. It's meant to teleport her, which is actually what happened here. She teleports up here. I charge up a nail art. Make sure it's safe before you actually jump up the platform. I think that missed, but here I go for a Shade Soul. This will sometimes double hit, but like not really. It's much better if she's here instead of here. Wait for it to teleport again. Here you literally can't hit her. It's way too risky to go down here. This is your safe haven. Like you don't want to ever leave here. Besides, unless you want to go for damage, of course. So I missed that as well because I'm an idiot. So after the Great Slash, you deal damage with nail hits, normal nail hits. You don't charge up a second one. That's just a waste of time. And then make sure you dodge the ghosts. Here I'm super low on souls, so I just save up and wait for her to spawn in a better spot. Here I do the pogo. She doesn't teleport. It doesn't matter. Make sure when you're doing the pogo, there's no ghosts. Of course, that's like obvious, but yeah. So here, see, she can sometimes spawn in a super inconvenient spot. Like here, she spawned here, and then she moved down. But if she spawns like here, you literally can't hit her with Great Slash. So what I do is Abyss Streak her. If she doesn't teleport, then it's just Abyss Streak damage, which is always good. If she does teleport, that just teleports her to another spot, which is good. Here, of course, I Shade Soul, but really shouldn't have. But yeah, don't Shade Soul twice in a row if she spawns here. This is a good example of a bad no eyes because I had low soul. And then here she's dead in like two Great Slashes. So you wait for that one. I don't know why I waited for that one. And then I actually land my first nail art up here. So you can, once you go up here, you do a double jump, and then you can just land a nail art without having to land on this platform. And then you do the nail hits. So yeah, see, that's why I missed like the couple times because she was like too high up and she didn't end up getting hit. Sometimes she can teleport if you're like on here, she can teleport down here, but that's just extra damage. Like it's not really that risky. Just play this fight super slowly. This is super difficult. Um, this Abyss Streak at the start here, I guess. Um, this is just normal dodges. Dodge however you want. And so this attack, it just shade cloak, super simple. But you want to pogo above him. This kills him. It doesn't matter. But then you want to D-Dark if he doesn't die. You D-Dark because after this attack, he can just walk into you. Like he can just walk forward, and that'll catch you off guard before his lunge attacks. It ended some of my runs occasionally. But the D-Dark makes sure that he attacks by the time your D-Dark runs out. So even if he walks forward, your D-Dark is going to cover invincibility frames for that. So it's going to be safer. I didn't get it this run. Sometimes he can wait to do this attack until the very end, and then he just doesn't walk forward. So yeah, he only walks forward after this attack. So that's something to keep in mind. The scythes, he does like the pizzas. He throws pizzas or something. Um, for that, you really never usually dodge it. Just D-Dark them if you have to, because he only does those if you're super far away from him. But yeah. White Defender. So White Defender has a cool startup. You get one hit in as he jumps up, and then you can do an Abyss Streak while he's up here, and then a second Abyss Streak while he's doing this. You can even get two hits here and then still land the two Abyss Streaks. Like this deals like a fifth of his HP, but he's pretty tanky. So here I again mistimed my Shade Soul. But you want to get a hit in and then you Shade Soul because he's always also gonna roll back, but that's after a bit of a delay. Sometimes it's super rare, but sometimes he just does the Baka and then he like you know the pillars where he just summons the pillars next to him. That's just bad RNG, but you can avoid it. So this is the same. You can't D-Dark him out of here, but I still do the D-Dark because the location he pops up from is random. Uh, and it's like he pops up super fast. So what I do is I just D-Dark. The D-Dark destroys the balls, and it also deals somewhat damage to him, but most importantly, it dodges the attack. I mean, you can just stand next to him and then dodge. So here he rolled back. Normally I would go after him, but I was afraid of the baka. Um, then he's throwing the balls. This is, of course, have to respect his hand. Just don't stand too close to him. Here I jump instead of D-Dart because I'm not gonna waste soul. This ball is coming into me, so it's like coming into my direction. So uh, because the balls like they go in random spots, but if he throws the balls against a corner, then you just D-Dock them and it sometimes destroys them. But if we go like this, there's really no need to destroy them because they're just gonna probably get destroyed other like by themselves. Like that one got destroyed, but this one didn't. So I just hit that. If it might destroy it, but it sometimes just sends them back. So you don't want to hit the boss, you want to hit the ball. That's what I'm trying to get away here. God, I can't speak. Then he does this again, D-Dark. And then that's all of his attacks. Again, you don't really want to chase after him super fast because of the Bakas. So yeah, I'm up against the side of the wall. They're gonna bounce off onto me, so I just D-Dark. That kills one of them. So once he attacks with the balls 3 times, he goes into the um I don't know, what do you call it? The juggle. You can't juggle this. This is too fast, but you can juggle a slower version of this. Dash through that, or you can double jump if you don't have Shade Cloak. This is like kind of close to a wall, but because he did this one like short, then I'm just gonna D-Dark. Don't be afraid to D-Dark on this fight. Like it's super important to know when to use it. But here, he actually waits a little bit longer for this attack, but you want to D-Dark the first one, but then he's always gonna go either to the other side of you or away from you, and that can be used to get a bit of straight damage off. Before I just D-Darked on every single one, but here you can like end the fight much faster with that. Normally he does an attack afterwards, but it's just the normal fight again. Super useful hot spring here, fill up, because you waste a lot of soul on White Defender. Soul Tyrant. So you play this super safe. You go for one hit here. You basically go for one hit all of the fight. For this fight, for this attack, you just jump over him, side slash, and then Shade Soul. This will double hit him. Shade Soul double hits are super good in this fight because they're an easy source of damage. You try and go close to him. Feel free to dash up next to him because of the orbs. Yeah, they don't damage you like that. I was lucky there and got 2 hits in, but because I dashed away, I kind of had to like dash through that one. It didn't give me enough time to jump. But the minimum you want to get is 1 hit per attack, per teleport. I mean, so you want to dash if he's close to you and then teleport. So yeah, this is the attack that that Soulmaster didn't do. For this, if he's coming from the left, I prefer just dashing through this orb. It's super not risky. You can also get a hidden, but that's riskier. But yeah, that's how you do that. And then you Shade Soul double hit. Stay in the middle for this, because um, it goes over you all the time. It doesn't matter where he spawns. For this attack, if he does a feint, then you have a dash, but you have to wait till you use the dash so you don't just dash into him. That's important. But I actually staggered him because I go for hits during it. Here, the Abyss Streak is actually like it's good, but what's better is just another Shade Soul double hit. So what you want to do is after he does this, you hit him and then Shade Soul. He's on the side of the screen. You just Shade Soul to the further side, and then that can sometimes like double hit him if he teleports into the Shade Soul. So that's something that you can do that's better. And then Shade Soul double hit, he's dead. He only staggers once. You can never get stagger combos on this boss, but yeah, that's why he only staggers once. This is slightly easier. So there, you can go for a jump, nail hit, and then a dash, and then turn around, nail hit. I didn't go for it there because his position where he spawns in is random. It can sometimes be further to the right here or further to the left. If he spawns further to the right, then I don't go for the nail hit because sometimes I can just bump into him. Yeah, like that again. He was further to the side I was going to, so I didn't go for it. I just focused on dodging. He does this a minimum of like 6 times. So after he does it 6 times, you can try and see if he's gonna do the other one. Okay, so this is the hardest boss, maybe, probably. No, Abzer's harder, but Um, was a super jank fight in the winning attempt, but for Markov, you start off with two Shade Souls. These will always double hit him, and then 8 hits with Unbreakable Strength. Actually no, 9 hits with Unbreakable Strength will send him into the next phase. We don't want to do that, so we want to deal 8 hits and then wait for him to do the shield spin attack. So here he can go down, middle, or up. Up, you can like get the 8 hits super fast. Middle is like a bit riskier, which is what he went for here. Down, you just jump up on this platform because you're like from here, you're gonna see where he goes to. So that's how you avoid that. So you go for side slashes here. This is like super risky. I don't know why I went for it, but you can knock him away. His shield is gonna rotate around him, so you gotta avoid that. But mainly you want to dodge the swords. So this dash is just to get to the other side of him. The wall is like a safe haven because like you can limit the direction you're dodging in. It's no longer horizontal, it's just vertical, so that's a bit safer. But of course you can't deal damage, so so I went off it. This was played super aggressively, I have no idea why. So that's 1 hit. Make sure to count your hits here. Like, make sure to count your hits so you don't accidentally send him into the next phase. Um, yeah, so it mainly just depends on where he goes. If he goes into you, you want to stay farther away, but if it's like good RNG or something, you can just get hits in and then just keep him away. If he goes farther away, you want to stay closer to him. So that's basically what you want to do. All at the same time, you're dodging the swords. So that was like 7 hits. I'm not really sure, but he does the shield spin attack. You don't really want to get 8 hits altogether, but you want to get at least like 6 before he does this. The safer strategy to this fight is not attack him until he does the shield spin. Attack him 8 times once he does the shield spin, and then wait for him to do another shield spin. But that's super long. Like that makes the fight a minute longer or something, and that's just more sword dodges, which is like you don't really want that. So he does the shield spin. Once the shield spins twice, um, sorry, voice crack. Once as the shield spins twice around him, it'll start changing its radius. And then it'll go around, and then that's where you can deal damage. So he spawned in a bad spot here. Sometimes he can pause at any point to do this attack, but if he does it next to a platform or next to a wall, and he's like not very deep down, you can like kill him in just in that while he's doing that attack. Here I don't really have it because he's too high up. So I have to like be wary of that. But you can just nail only kill him if he's up against a platform because he doesn't take knockback. And then that's how you instantly kill him. Don't worry if you don't kill him like here. You just Shade Soul. Here he's way too high up. If I jump up here, I'm gonna probably get sniped by a sword, so I just go for an Abyss Streak. This is super risky if he's closer to you, but he was at a good distance here. It's probably like the minimum distance he can be. If he's farther away, then that's much safer. So take that from what you will. That was risky, but I knew he was gonna die because I already did like 6 hits during the shield spin. So yeah. Normally you want to do Shade Souls because Shade Souls are safer. You can do them from farther away, but here I just saw the opportunity to go for a Shriek and I went for it. Okay, so you can Dream Nail him before the fight starts. And then we have to fight invincible, fearless, sensual, mysterious, enchanting, vigorous, diligent, overwhelming, gorgeous, passionate, terrifying, beautiful, powerful, great, and so. Um, so the thing about invincible, fearless, sensual, mysterious, enchanting, vigorous, diligent, overwhelming, gorgeous, passionate, enchanting, powerful, gorgeous, great, and so is that he can do a lot of the attacks, and he can do a lot of the attacks with the same telegraph. And they go super fast, like he can his normal what he normally does is just walks forward or walks backwards. For that, if he walks forward, you just shroom. If he walks backwards, you try and stay farther away from him. You don't really chase him. Here he'd summon minions. You want to kill the minions here, but because he was walking forward, I didn't really get a good opportunity for that. You can kill him as he spawns in, but then you're missing out on damage. So I dash through him, I do a Shade Soul. Unfortunately, that only kills one of them. Here he does a jump. Um, for the jumps, what you normally want to do for the jumps is just stay as far away from it as possible so you can react to the shockwaves. It's normally going to be a mini hop to dodge the shockwave, and then a large hop to avoid the normal jump because he can go back, forward, or just stay in one place. There, I deduct to kill the minion. That's the only reason I did that. And then I just jump over the shockwave. So here, this attack is super problematic because it barely gives you enough time to run away from it. So you hit him a bit, and then he only gives you like a second before he actually does the attack, and sometimes he just falls over, and then that causes shockwaves to dodge over that. But here, because I was close to him, I dashed through him. It's safer to dash through him than dash away from him because this is like super long. Because like you're gonna be standing here, and then he's just gonna pop this out of his ass. So you want to dash through him, and then that's because he'll turn around over here. He won't turn around instantly. He'll have to go a bit forward. You can deal damage through pogos, but if you miss your pogo, that's sad. So I don't go for pogos. Um, and then you go for 3 hits. You always want to go for 3 hits or two at least in between attacks. That's how you're mainly getting off damage. This attack, you don't want to dodge it immediately because of that, because of the feint. He can sometimes do like a twirl in the air and then do it again. If you're going in one direction, you can still dodge it relatively safely. If he does the feint and you're not going, if you're just standing still, then you can dodge the other way. So it's really just you really want to dodge as late as possible so you know if he's going to do a feint or not. This you want to jump over. These are like you jump over with similar heights. So 4 hits there. Then again, I was going in the opposite direction, but he did a feint in that direction, so it didn't really matter. This, I don't know why I dashed away from him. This much safer to dash through him. And I ended up pogoing him for no reason, and I ended up staggering him. So that was actually the closest moment to getting hit there. Deal damage here. That was risky. You want to dash away from the jump, but that was risky. So for this summon, you want to Shade Seal them. Shade Seal them and then D-Dark instantly. That's to dodge. The D-Dark is the Shade Soul is to kill the summons, and the D-Dark is to dodge Soap's attack because he can still attack while doing that. This attack is the best attack. You can D-Dark while he falls down and then deal damage. You can get like 10 hits or something crazy. This is where you mostly want to stagger him. Like you want to go for a stagger here. But he didn't do that. He does the jump. Like here, like that can seem suspicious, but it's actually not. That's because his sword doesn't have a hip. He can't swing it here. He's not actually swinging it. He swings it at the bottom. And like even at the bottom, it's a smaller hitbox, so you can just double jump out of that. Like that's you're at no risk of dying there. That D-Dark was risky, but he was going forward, so I had to. You can dash through him here too, but I was kind of like locked in the corner and nerves, so just D-Dark. If you never know what he's doing in this fight, just D-Dark. Like it's the safest option, but you also want to manage soul. This is like I used a bit less soul than normal, but that's that's because he gave me like a bad pattern or something. Fail champ is you want to Abyss Streak here. Get 3 hits in. Dash underneath this attack. If he does the other attack, you dash towards him, and then you do a yeah. This you dash. If he does that one, he does like a shockwave. You don't want to dodge the shockwave normally because the rocks will hit you. So what you want to do is dash towards him. He does the mace attack, and then you D-Dark on top of the mace. That dodges it, and then you don't have to worry about rocks. He staggers super fast after the Abyss Streak, so Dream Nail him here. Here, the combo is 2 hits. Oh, 3 hits there for some reason. 2 hits, Abyss Streak. 2 hits, Abyss Streak. Or 3 hits, Abyss Streak here. It's safer to go for 3 hits while he's over here, but 2 hits, Abyss Streak. 3 hits, Abyss Streak. I don't know why I swapped it on that one. Don't listen to me. Yeah, but it gives you lots of leeway. If you mess it up, and then you can like dash away and then Shade Soul him, and then that'll still hit him, kill him. You will never have to do any more of the fight than that. So, all right, final 3 bosses. NKG, not much of a problem. Well, I don't know why I said not much of a problem for NKG, but like seriously, it's not too bad, especially after Zoe. Um, yeah, after Fail Champ, you should be getting full soul. Fail Champ was like super easy, and then you get like this easy boss, and there's Offspring. So for this attack, you jump towards him. Actually, you want to jump. It's a bit farther than the normal Grim attack. So when you see this teleport and you see him do that, you just go a little bit backwards away from him, and then you go forward to him. Because then if you just do that, then you're just gonna end up missing the pogo entirely. So you hit that, and then you stand here. That puts you in perfect position to dodge it. Do the same thing here. You really have to do it like the exact same motion for each attack. Here you do a jump, dash, and then you get a 3 hits in here. This attack you can deal a lot of damage. After two, you can jump towards him, do 2 nail hits in the air, 2 nail hits on the ground, and then a Blitz Streak. This will most stagger him most of the time. That's a really good way of dealing damage. And I expected him to go into Pufferfish here. If he spawns in the middle, he's doing the Pufferfish attack. So then I went for a Shriek. So most of the time you won't go for the Shriek here, because like he can summon, he can teleport here randomly. One thing to know is that unlike Grim, it's not actually a 75, 50%, and 25% split of his HP where he does the pufferfish. It's a bit different. So just keep in mind that. So you can get like pufferfishes randomly, but it's still based on health intervals. I don't know exactly what it is, but yeah. Charge the same nail art. Go for that. I didn't like even I don't expect that second pufferfish. That's just over damage. So I still went for the Abyss Streak because I was close in the area. You can go for an Abyss Streak like here, that'll still hit him sometimes. So you don't really have to be too close. That's just a normal dodge. Normal dodge. Here you just do a double jump and dash over it. You can get hits in with like a pogo, but it's super precise. This you just stand in the place, like it gives you enough time to react. 3 hits here, stagger. The stagger is super short, but you can still deal the 50 damage that it caps off at. Then I expected another pufferfish, so I did that. Most of the time you don't go for the pufferfish again, but like here I just had a good opportunity to go for it and I went for it. So here 2 hits. Actually, that was a bit late, but whatever. He died, whatever, who cares? And don't spend like 2 minutes in the hot spring here. And Pure Vessel. So Pure Vessel, I recommend practicing this fight like the most besides Radiance. You want to get super consistent because it's not a fight like NKG where it's like you do the same motion again, but it kind of is. So it's weird. That's all I'm trying to say. So just practice this fight as much as possible. Go for 1 hit here. Even if he does the parry, you can still deal the damage. If he does a parry, you just back off a bit and go for a hit afterwards. This you do a pogo and a slash. This is 2 pogos and a slash. This is normally a dash away if he does the teleport up here because you know he's gonna do the slam. But because he teleported like next to me, you can just walk over and then get 4 up slashes. If you have steady body, you can go for 4 regular slashes, but I was just used to not fighting this fight without steady body, so then he staggers. This stagger hitbox, it kind of like it's a bit wider, but if you're at a good spot after the swords, then you're still gonna dodge it. No, it's not really going to be much of a problem. And then go hit for hits in the stagger. This is just a dash. There's no reason to dodge this attack normally. Just make sure you have Shade Cloak. And then go for 2 hits, 4 hits here. I went for an extra hit there. That's what doomed me here. So I missed the pogo, but this this pogo was absolutely insane. Um, because you have Mark of Pride, you're gonna reach him like no matter what. Unless you do those attacks later. This is what happens here. I went for an attack and I missed it. So Mark of Pride kind of saved me here. This is literally why you should use Mark of Pride. This hitbox might have not have hit me, but it was still better to get the pogo than not. And of course, like if you're nervous here, like this is a after half an hour of just like other fights, you've already beat Markov and Grape himself, so your heart's gonna be like beating right here. So just stay calm here and do the same motions over and over. 2 hits after the stagger, back off after the thing. You just do the same thing again and again. 2 hits here, 2 hits here. If he stays in one spot after an attack, if he stays in one spot, you can go for more than 2 hits, but normally it's just 1 or 2 hits. So 4 hits here. Here you just D-Dark. You won't have to dash away and be at risk of dodging these. Plus, you get to deal more damage. You have to just get used to D-Darking there. 4 hits here. Two hits here. And then here, this you just double jump, dash, pogo, and D-Dark above him. The reason you D-Dark is because if you spend too much time above Pure Vessel, he can just do a normal jump and then just absolutely destroy you. So you just go for a pogo and then a D-Dark. Don't go for two pogos. Stagger here, two hits. One thing to note about the stagger is that this hitbox, like as I said, it's a bit wider. So if you hit him at like just Mark of Pride range, you can hit his hitbox while he's staggered, but not when he's parrying. So that's a plus. If you're just spamming hits after a stagger, you won't be able to hit him after his parry, but it's a bit precise. Yeah, that kills him. So Absrad, this is the final boss. Just calm your nerves during this moment. Just do whatever it takes to not die. But yeah, now you have to fight this thing. Um, so one thing to note about this fight is that it's actually not that hard. I know it's weird. It's the hardest fight, like by far, but like just by itself, it's not that hard. When you're doing like Pantheon, however, it's way harder. Way harder, like 10 times harder. And of course, after you did Hitless, it's like, what do you even do? I died multiple times on this fight, but just don't be discouraged. So she's always spawns in the middle. You get nail hits with turnarounds. Don't go for the pogo here. Like if you know Absrat speedruns, you know that they pogo her to like keep staying up in the air and then dealing damage. Don't do that here because then you can get hit by swords. You can get hit by beam wall or beam burst, and then you can get hit by like the raining swords. So just don't do that. Um, so after that, you drop down. If she does an early attack, you just D-Dark. But she did a beam wall, so you dash through that. You want to use a Bistreak as much as possible. So in between attacks, you can use like a Bistreak if you don't want to go up at her. Because like this is a good spot to deal damage, but as you can see, she's spawning swords, so you don't really want to be in that spot too much. So that's why you have Bistreak. You stay on the ground while still dealing damage. That's your main usage for a Bistreak in this phase. Another Bistreak here. So the spikes cover half the screen. But I shouldn't have focused on the spikes because I did something funky here. Um, so yeah, I went for nail hits here after a teleport, but then you go for an instant D-Dark. That'll dodge almost everything here. So that's what you should normally go for, and then Burst Rig to deal damage. This is this is risky. Like, what even is that? Um, this is why you shouldn't double jump into her. What I recommend doing is just going for standalone hits. Like you jump up slash, jump up slash. Don't go for like multiple quick slash combos because this can happen, and then you're just gonna die most of the time. But I got lucky there. This is no, this is the closest moment I was to getting hit here. So, yeah, this one doesn't matter. You wait this attack out. You can sometimes attack in between it, but you normally don't want to do that. So there's a spikes spawning underneath me, so you D-Dark. If you D-Dark, your hitbox becomes invulnerable, but your spikes still touch the hitbox, so that just gets rid of them for a bit. And then you see that's what I meant. You go for an up slash here, and then just wait for it to see what attack that happens. Actually, this is the closest moment because I did this. I did that. And again, because I felt snazzy. Don't do that. So the normal way to dodge the orbs is to dash underneath them. But as you can see, there's spikes here. That's because she's going into the sword rain phase, which is phase 3. So I tried improvising here. I tried T-Darking here, but I misinputted and then it was a shade. So this is probably the most epic moment ever, but like it's super risky. Don't go for it. I don't even know why I didn't D-Dark here. So that's the second way to dodge the orbs. You just jump up and then jump over one of them and then you D-Dark. Like, I don't know why I kept going for damage here. That was super risky. Um, and then you just try and deal as much damage before the sword spawn. Sometimes she can just spawn a sword ball, so that's a bit risky, but because she just did orbs, you can't do that. If she does do swords, you can do one hit per jump. You just jump over the swords and then you do the hit. So yeah. You can pogo the void here, if you didn't know that. Platforms. Was a much cleaner platforms fight than phase one. Like phase one was really bad. So you want to stay on this platform and deal damage if she comes down to these ones, these three spots. She can teleport in like 10 spots, so you have to wait a while. D-Dark. D-Dark is your best friend for platforms because you can't see what she's doing. You have audio cues, but you don't really know what they are. Um, that was risky, but it doesn't matter. Um, because I had D-Dark guide friends. So you D-Dark right as she starts every attack. So after each teleport, you just do a D-Dark. Orbs. Orbs is one attack you don't have to do D-Darks necessarily. If Radiance is on the left side, you can go to the right platform, and then just jump over them here. They'll have a higher chance of getting hit by these platforms, and then just you'll have to dodge less orbs, which is a plus. Um, if you somehow get two orbs on top of you, you just D-Dark. Yeah. So this you D-Dark this wall because you want to save your Shade Cloak for attacks here. But I saw that she teleported here. This was actually a nice pairing because you can D-Dark. We hit two birds with one stone here. The D-Dark dodged the beam wall and the swords, so that's what you want to do. And then you get a bit of downtime here because of the swords here. The reason that I didn't D-Dark, these give off an audio cue, but I didn't. I saw that Radiance wasn't attacking anything, so that's why I didn't D-Dark there. But yeah, I D-Darked this because I knew she was gonna start an attack. That was Beam Burst. Beam Burst, you just want to kind of go in the spot where the last beam was. So because there's a beam there, I stay in the spot, but then there's this beam there, so I try and go there. But I can't really make it to that spot, so I just D-Dark some. That's how you avoid that. You just want to go to the burst that happened last. So that's how you dodge the burst. This, of course, you D-Dark. You get hits in here. This is risky. I wanted more soul for D-Darks, but I only got one hit off, so I just quickly backed off and then went off to this platform because she's on the left side. If she's on the right side and does orbs, you just go to the left platform. Here she spawned in the middle again, so I did more D-Darks. If she's on top of you, you just do a D-Dark and then you can like deal massive damage. Climb. So climb, you try and get as far as possible. Um, You want to get as far as possible before she actually starts summoning beams. Here I bonked into the platform, so I couldn't go very far, so I just waited until she spawned it. What you want to do is jump for every beam, like right as every beam as you see one, and then double jump right before it does that. That will give you a lot of time to react to the beams while still going up. So you just, here I didn't double jump, which was a mistake. But what you want to do is see the beam spawning, you jump, the beam did that, so you double jump. So yeah, you just want to do that. It gives you a lot of time to react to, because while you're pressing the jump button, uh, you can see where it is before you actually jump. So that lets you dodge it much safer. If you're in a tough spot, just Shade Cloak. Sometimes you can get arc, but it's a bit riskier. Here, this is where once you get to this platform, you can do a very simple baiting maneuver. It's if it spawns on top of you here, you double jump Shade Cloak. If it spawns on top of you here, you double jump over here to the right and then Shade Cloak. And then here, if it spawns on top of you here, so you can like skip that platform. But if you double jump Shade Cloak, and here it's double jump Shade Cloak. I didn't have to Shade Cloak there. So once again, once you get up to this platform, that platform, this is like the Baldur Shell platform or something, if you're doing any radiance, but hell if I know. So here you just bait the beam to go over here, and then you double jump Shade Cloak, double jump Shade Cloak, double jump Shade Cloak. This is because the beam becomes more precise the farther up you are. So that lets you like bait the beam um super easily. Like it almost always traces onto you. Here you go up here, you Abyss Streak. This will only hit her if she spawns in the center or sides. If she spawns here, it doesn't do anything. But it's like it's worth going for, even if you don't get it. Then you do pogos. So the strat for pogos is not do that. So what happened there, I double jumped. I did a pogo before and then I did a double jump. So you want to save your double jump as much as possible, because now you're on a platform again, which is safe, which is you can't dodge orbs on here. That well, so the good thing about pogos is that it lures the orbs off screen where they despawn, and then whenever Radiance teleports, you want to dash over to her and then save your double jump for if like you're targeting an orb. But this phase is super short, so you just do whatever. And then you won. The way you know that Radiance is dead is that after she does a teleport, she's gonna like instantly snap back to the middle position, and that's when you know she's dead. So that's how you know when to kill her. And then don't do a lame reaction like me. Don't listen to that. But whatever. And you just beat that, so GG's. That's how I beat P5.